Our Switchheads, Kanan here once again, and welcome to my review of Behind Closed Doors, A Developer's Tale. A gripping story, arcade adventure, platformer, and yes, it's all in here waiting to unfold before your very eyes. But before we get peeling back them layers, subscribe for weekly reviews and sales videos, click that thanks button to support the channel, and give the video a like to help the channel grow. Let's review, shall we? Engage. Story-wise, Ethan is a games developer making a new game while juggling a home life, a pushy boss, people complaining about the other games while having a deadline for his new game in just a few days. Juggling is an understatement, I have to say. But one night, Ethan is woken by a phone call and is transported to another dimension where he then has to complete some weird-ass trials to get himself back into the real world. So explaining the controls would be rather hard to do, as there are many different genres mixed into one game here. So the side-scrolling bit to the game is your basics left, right and jump. You basically, well, that's it really. You get environmental obstacles later on, but you know, you just jump over them and you get a few coins to collect. But this isn't what the game's about, essentially. And as you can see, just so that you know, there is development later on, and you know, there are things added to it, so that's good, isn't it? And then you get into some twin stick shootery fun ish, depending on your definition. But yeah, this is another type of control system where it's top down and you basically twin sticking it. That doesn't sound too rude. And that's just a few of them, as I really don't want to give the, well, game away, if you like. So, Developer's Tale starts by breaking you into a routine, forcing you to go through a few days of Ethan's day. Waking up, making the bed, breakfast, talking to your pregnant wife, then heading to work and interacting with colleagues, and then making a game. And neatly within this, you actually get to see the development of the game-ish, as it takes shape-ish. You also neatly get to answer some emails from pissed off gamers, which is actually quite amusing. And your day-to-day activities could be, you know, make your bed. Done-ish. Turn an alarm off, get dressed, you know, several different things. Yay, brush your teeth. And then you can go and speak to your wife, go to work. At work, you can talk to your colleagues. All of them, not all of them, but some of them. Answer some emails from disgruntled gamers, I guess. Not answering them very nicely either. Some of them are quite funny. To program in that game, and you program it by clicking both the shoulder buttons. I am really programming me. And then you get to play the spoils of your finger mashing. Yeah. Well, basically, now I know how easy it is to program. I might give it a go myself. I mean, these developers, they get away with murder for what they do. Anywho, you actually get to do this several times, and you get to see this game flourish and develop monsters and more damn, it's hard to do with a delay, and sort of like more textures and everything, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there is that side of the game. And then finding your routine and also collecting these weird little memory things that pop up and having a look around all the set pieces, which there aren't that many. And at this precise point, I just want to stop for a second, as none of these actual, shall we call them, extra parts seem to do anything or have any reason to be there, unless my one theory is actually correct and I should be crying tears of sadness at the end of this game rather than actually trying to figure things out. Okay, so then there was that phone call and pow, the game changes. I mean, completely changes. You're then in some other world talking to a otherworldly character who then asks you to complete some tasks in order to escape back to your own world or realm. It all kind of like feels like the dev is actually stuck in his own badly made games that he made before. Could be wrong though. The game then hits you with a few retro style genres and even a boss. Woo! These games, or tasks as they're kind of known, are all okay, but nothing incredibly taxing, just fiddly at times. That said, the controls at times can be kind of taxing and hard for no explicable reason. It feels like this is actually done deliberately and kind of fits the game style. The other thing is it's very short, like an hour's worth of gameplay, but it does have 2 endings up for grabs. And talking about the endings, I'm not fully sure I actually got the meanings of them. I mean, I think I took everything that I saw and did and drew my own conclusion on what the actual ending means. So I'm not quite sure whether it was the intended ending that I'm actually seeing, or whether I just made it up out of what I saw. Lastly, the load times, they can be really harsh at times. I mean, really harsh. And yeah, sometimes you just paused and then it's obviously loading and then you carry on, and between those like sections, I don't know why they're so long. I really don't. Graphically, it's got that pixel art look to it and mixes different genres to good effect, which really takes you back to different times. Audio, it kind of like does what it does. It does have some nice music, it has some nice sounds, some background sounds, some atmospheric sounds. But I don't think anything really stood out to me. But I think this is probably actually fitting to the game's style. The good. 2 endings. Felt fresh, and I did actually want to see what was coming next. Nice to see many different genres in one place. I did want to play more of it though. Is that a good or bad thing? Not quite sure. The bad. Collectibles that don't seem to do anything. It's short. Controls feel deliberately bad, I think, and those load times are just terrible. With all that said and done, it was a nice experience. It was short, it came in, did what it had to do, and then got back out again. It didn't linger in the slightest. It's priced well enough for what you actually get, and 2 endings, sort of, but I didn't feel too badly towards those endings. I did, however, want more of the game, and would have quite happily played more of the game, but is that a good or a bad thing? And I think that is why I'm going to give Behind Closed Doors a 3 out of 5. If you want a short, fun game that mixes it up and does not outstay its welcome, then this is one for you. And before we get to that alternative, subscribe for more reviews and sales videos each and every week. Consider supporting the channel with the thanks icon below. And liking this video also helps the channel grow. And onwards to the alternative, and today it's going to be Isolomus. Yes, it's a bit of a weird choice, but I couldn't find anything to really relate to this game in the same way, not totally anyway. So I just thought I'd go for something by Sometimes You, and is also a little bit different from the norm. I reviewed it on the channel, again quite a short game, again thinks out of the box, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. And again, they're not asking a great deal for the experience. But as always, if you've got a better alternative, or indeed any thoughts on the actual game itself, Behind Closed Doors, then leave them down in the comments. I try to answer every single one of them that I can. And if you want to take the conversation a little bit further, then come and join us in our community Discord, because, well, we can do just that there. Because life is better when we switch together.